Welcome in, y'all. We have our top 30 fantasy football players heading into the 2024 season. I don't want this video to be too long, so we're going to jump right into it, into our top 30. And keep in mind, these rankings are going to fluctuate up and down as the offseason, free agency, NFL draft. There's a lot of things that can change these rankings. These are way too early just for fun to kind of get us set and prepared to have some type of template to go into the 24 season. Let's talk about here at number 30. We're talking about Kenneth Walker, the running back from the Seahawks. We have to see what happened. Pete Carroll is now out as the head coach. How is the philosophy going to change here with the Seahawks offense? Are we going to see somebody really just hunker down and have a bell cow type of back? Are they still going to split the workload between Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet? We don't know what's going to happen, but we know towards the end of the season, Kenneth Walker really solidified himself as the 1A in this offense. There's a lot of weapons to go around. Jackson Smith-Njigba, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Geno Smith head in the quarterback position. But just because they have a lot of weapons don't mean that they can't have a bell cow back, and Kenneth Walker could provide you some good value in 2024. Let's move right along here. Number 29, we're going over Mark Andrews, the tight end out of the Ravens. He did get hurt, missed the end of the season, but when we saw him healthy, we saw him as a huge part of this offense. And now, if Dalvin Cook stays a part of the Ravens throughout into next year in 2024, we could see Mark Andrews really start to have some spots open up. People are going to have to start accounting for that running game. Right now, people are just kind of accounting for Lamar Jackson running all over the field. But if he can do a little bit more of that play action pass, maybe who knows what's going on. They're going to have to creep up a little bit on the box. The linebackers are going to have to stay a little bit more honest. It could scoot Mark Andrews open for even more opportunities in 2024. He could be the number one tight end on my list. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But let's move right along here. Number 28, Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for the Chiefs. I like the way this guy runs. He runs with a motor. He runs like he has a purpose, and he's starting to develop as the clear-cut guy for these Chiefs. It doesn't matter. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is pretty much an aftermath thought right now. It is all Pacheco. It's his team. I think if they can just get some more weapons on the outside, it could really kind of lighten up the box a little bit, because a lot of people know it's either going to be Isaiah Pacheco running the ball, or it's going to be some type of dink and dunk action with Patrick Mahomes having to throw to either Rashee Rice or Travis Kelce. So maybe we're hoping up for a little bit more opportunities on the outside, maybe a couple more offensive linemen, and Pacheco could be a phenomenal play in 2024. I like what we see. Moving right along here, number 27, we're talking about DK Metcalf. Again, we have to see how this offense is going to turn, but he is the number one wide receiver for the Seahawks and Geno Smith. We like what he can provide. He's still a wide receiver. That's kind of daunting. He's a big wide receiver who can get down the field and can make big plays, gets the contested catches. I like what I see from DK Metcalf. Could be a solid fantasy option for you in 2024. Let's move right along here. Number 26, Mike Evans. Now, he is a free agent. We'll see what happens, but I think he does end up back here with the Buccaneers because he has a nice rapport with Baker Mayfield. He knows he gets the ball early and often. Doesn't matter. Baker Mayfield is throwing the ball to Mike Evans almost each and every play. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Mike Evans. I think he's going to still provide a huge fantasy value for you in 2024 if he's on your team, just by the sheer volume that he's getting week in and week out. Let's move right along here. Number 25, I'm going over Davante Adams. Do we see Davante Adams get moving here? We don't know what's going on. We don't know he's very happy with the Raiders. He doesn't like his really opportunities. Sometimes he's not even appearing. There's no quarterback that can sit there and give him the ball. I don't think O'Connell is going to be the answer to making sure Davante Adams is relevant in the fantasy football world week in and week out. But I still have to provide him up here in my top 30 rankings because Davante Adams is still a phenomenal wide receiver. He has the skill set. Even though he's up there a little bit in age, it doesn't matter. Davante Adams can still get the job done. They just need to do a little bit better job of getting this guy the football. Let's move right along here. Number 24, talk about Nico Collins, who really started to provide himself as the number one wide receiver here for the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud. Now, we did see Tank Dell kind of pick up his game a little bit. I think that only helps Nico Collins. When there's another wide receiver on the opposite field, they can't just sit there and hone in on Nico Collins and his production. We've seen some phenomenal games, over 200 yards from Nico Collins in 2023. Could he give things like that in 2024? Absolutely. I think this offense, they're all young, they're growing together, and the better that CJ Stroud gets, the better that Nico Collins is going to get. Easily as number 24 on my list. Moving right along here, number 23, we're talking about Chris Olave, the wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr, there was a little bit of growing pains here, right? There were some weeks that we saw Chris Olave really come together and flourish to what we thought he could be, but it just wasn't consistent enough for my likings. I think that maybe head coach Dennis Allen, he should be back with the team, but he needs to find a philosophy that works for this offense. Chris Olave, by far, by the end of the season, we started seeing some nice, solid games from him, but I want to see that week in and week out. I think that happens in 2024. Let's see what happens, but it puts him at number 23 for me. Move right along here at number 22. Josh Allen's going to be the first quarterback on our list right here. I like what Josh Allen did. It gives you that safe floor. Like I said, he had 15 rushing touchdowns in the NFL last season. I like what that provides you as a fantasy quarterback. I really enjoy watching this guy play. He's got some weapons on the outside, and I did like that what Dalton Kincaid brought to the offense. More of a safety blanket for Josh Allen to be able to throw the ball to. So that's why we probably seen him throw over 4,000 yards this upcoming season. Let's move right along here. Move over to the next guy, number 21. We're talking about Saquon Barkley, that running back out of the Giants. I like Saquon Barkley and what his opportunities. I think that he's going to end up back with the Giants. He wants to be back with the Giants, but he has to make sure the numbers are correct. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Who knows what's going to happen out of the Giants? I'm pretty sure they're going to draft a quarterback. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be the answer. I think they've already pretty much moved on from this guy. So they're going to be taking one of these rookie quarterbacks, whether it's going to be, Caleb, whether it's going to be, Jaden Daniels or Drake May or somebody like that. They're going to have a new quarterback in the building, so I have to see how it does. And if they can land the right guy at the quarterback position, we can see Saquon Barkley really take another step for this offense, because he's a very good running back, still relatively young with 26, maybe 27 by the time the season starts. I'm liking what I see from Saquon Barkley. Coming at number 20, talking about Brandon Ayuk, and really saw this guy really come into his own this season. It wasn't until the later end of the season where we saw Deebo Samuel really become that alpha dog again. But for the most of the season, we saw Brandon Ayuk as the clear-cut number one guy here. So I think Brock Purdy was building a nice rapport with Brandon Ayuk. You could throw him into the end zone, and he's going to come down with the football. Really liked what I saw from Brandon Ayuk. Coming in at number 19, talking about Jalen Hurts, another quarterback, 15 rushing touchdowns with his little tush push. He's got a nice safety floor for you. He's always going to be a top option at the quarterback position as of right now. Nice young quarterback with a plethora of weapons on the outside. We talk about Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert at the tight end position. You got DeAndre Swift back in the backfield. Plenty of options for Jalen Hurts to be a successful fantasy football quarterback for your football team. Let's talk about number 18 here, Lamar Jackson. Again, a guy is absolutely phenomenal. Give you another safe floor, becoming super slippery with the addition of Dalvin Cook. Does that even make him a better fantasy option? We'll have to see. Mark Andrews should be back in 2024. He should have all of his weapons back. We saw Zay Flowers become more of a potent weapon for Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson's future. He's definitely a top quarterback in this league, and he's a top quarterback for fantasy football. So coming here at number 17, we're talking about Rachaad White, that running back for the Bucs. We saw consistency, and most of that consistency came with opportunity, because we didn't see a lot of rushing opportunities with anyone else in this offense. It was all pretty much Rachaad White, and that was it. They wasn't giving the ball much, maybe one carry, maybe two carries at the most to another running back. Other than that, it was all Rachaad White. We saw 20 plus fantasy points each and every week, and most weeks for Rachaad White, somebody you could depend on in the quarterback or in the running back room for your team. Really liked what I saw out of Rachaad White. So move right along here at number 16. We're talking about Garrett Wilson. I have him up here because I do believe that Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback next season for them, and he's going to stay healthy this time, and that's only going to bode well for Garrett Wilson. We saw Garrett Wilson shine out, right, without Aaron Rodgers, right? In most cases. There's sometimes it was just the quarterback's fault was why they wasn't getting Garrett Wilson the ball, and when you visually saw Garrett Wilson get really upset at the lack of the quality at the quarterback position. Here comes Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to hone in on Garrett Wilson, really show that he could be a dominant force, and we may even see an old-time Devontae Adams type season from this guy, because I think he's going to be force-fed the ball quite a bit from Aaron Rodgers. That's why I have Garrett Wilson way up here at number 16. We were along here at number 15. We're talking about Travis Etienne Jr. out of here of the Jaguars. Again, he is the main guy here. I had a very big concern about them drafting Tank Bigsby out of Auburn to come in and vulture a lot of those opportunities. That just didn't happen. Travis Etienne is still the man here. As long as Trevor Lawrence can stay healthy, Travis Etienne is his running mate. And I'm telling you, he's a great fantasy option for you. A good level type of running back for you to have on your fantasy team. Somebody you can depend on week in and week out. Coming at number 14, we're talking about Deebo Samuel. We saw towards the end of the year what Deebo Samuel could provide for your fantasy football team. And man, he could be stunning. Not only is he getting you those receiving yards, he can also get you those rushing yards as well. He's a dominant force in fantasy football and a huge component for this 49ers offense. I like what Deebo Samuel brings to this offense. So Coming in at number 13, we're talking about that rookie Puka Nacua. He really shown that he was going to be the man. Will Matthew Stafford be there next season or will he retire? I'm not sure. But either way it goes, I think that Puka Nacua is starting to establish himself as a 1B type of wide receiver, not just the B wide receiver, but the 1B. So he's right next to Cooper Kupp because he's starting to have a lot better opportunities than Cooper Kupp. Over 1,000 yards receiving for Puka Nacua. We saw him be completely dominant. They use him all over the field. They put him in motion quite a bit to give him and set him up for good opportunities to make the catch. I like what I see out of Puka Nacua. Easily a top 13 wide receiver for me. Let's move right along to number 12. Talking about DJ Moore, the wide receiver from the Bears. I think that overall we're starting to see what he did. He had the most receiving yards he's ever had in his career, over 1,300 yards receiving. I just like what Justin Fields is doing right now. But there's a big question. Will Justin Fields be there next year? We don't know. Will they move Justin Fields and take one of these top tier quarterbacks coming in next season? I'm not sure. But either way it goes, I think DJ Moore will be the focal point for this offense. So whether or not they stick with Justin Fields or get one of these rookie quarterbacks, I think DJ Moore is going to be just fine. So easy to put him at number 12 for me. Let's move right along here at number 11. We're talking about Jonathan Taylor. He's going to be the running back here. Now, there's a lot of these complaints in the offseason and the holdouts and all this and that. I think when Anthony Richardson coming back at the quarterback, it's going to be a dual threat type of situation. A lot of maybe RPOs or whoever knows what's going to come out. But there's going to be a lot of open running rooms for Jonathan Taylor. He's going to provide us that he is going to be a top running back. Once again, he's too young not to be. He's got all the talent in the world, got great vision. I love what I see from Jonathan Taylor. Should be a top back for you. That's why it comes in at number 11 for me. Coming at number 10, we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, that running back out of the Lions. And I think in 2024, we start to see Jahmyr Gibbs really take over for David Montgomery into this offense. I think we're going to see less carries from Montgomery, more carries for Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery's a great running back. He very good with the opportunities that he was given. But let's just be, we got to call a spade at this point. Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted very, very high in the draft, and they're going to want to see what this draft capital is about, and they can already see it. When they start giving him some opportunities, he's absolutely electric. When Montgomery was out of the games due to the injury, Gibbs came in and he was playing phenomenal football. This guy needs to be the focal point of this offense, and I think we start seeing that in 2024. So if you can get him on the cheap, if you're in a dynasty league, try to go get Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's going to be electric, and he's going to be probably in the top 5, who knows, in the overall starting next season. We'll see how it goes. So we were along number 9 here. We're talking about A.J. Brown, another wide receiver, top guy, one of the big guys for Jalen Hurts, a really good friend. And we know when he doesn't get the ball, when he has a bad game because it's all going to Devonta Smith, he makes it known that he is not happy and he needs to get the football. What happens? They force feed the football to A.J. Brown. So A.J. Brown's going to get his, right? He gets a lot of receiving yards. He gets a lot of scoring opportunities, and he can put up a lot of fantasy points for your team. Always going to be a top flight offense spot for your offense into your fantasy football league. Put AJ Brown in there. You're not going to complain. It's a set and forget it type of guy. So coming in number 8, we're talking about Jamar Chase. Now, I know a lot of people may say, wait, Jamar Chase, what's going on? We got to remember the injury history. He was a little bit hurt. Then we have Joe Burrow that was hurt. He didn't have a very good quarterback, and he still ended up putting up some decent numbers, Jamar Chase did. So I think he's going to get back to his dominance, and who knows? If T. Higgins ends up not being there next year, and it's all Jamar Chase, you're probably going to see a blow-up game from Jamar Chase, and could easily be the number 1 wide receiver towards the end of 2024, and I wouldn't bat an eye at that. So Jamar Chase still on the top of my rankings. He's at number 8 right now. Let's move right along. Number 7, we're talking about Breece Hall, the running back for the Jets. He's another one. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's got a good offensive line ahead of him. And you add Aaron Rodgers into this offense where they're not going to be able to stack the box all the time. They're going to be throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson quite a bit. Breece Hall's going to be running wild. We don't have to worry about Dalvin Cook taking any of that workload away from him. Me and a lot of other people were worried about Dalvin Cook taking some of that stuff this season. They said, nah, Breece Hall is our guy. He's running the ball phenomenally. The guy is good. He's a stud and he's young. He's going to be a top back in 2024. Let's talk about number 6. Another back to kind of expose himself would be definitely Kyren Williams, right? This guy came in here as a rookie, and man, did he show out. You know, he was one of those guys that no one really talked about. No one really was thinking he was anything what he was, but the opportunities that he got and his running ability, his contact ability is just amazing. You know, you see somebody just smacking this guy and he just doesn't go down. He's able to stay up and get a few extra yards. I really like what I'm seeing out of Kyren Williams. I think he's going to be a phenomenal running back, and he would actually probably be my number 1 running back if it wasn't for Christian McCaffrey on this list. He is that good. I'm very high on this guy. Get Kyren Williams. He's going to be a high draft pick in 2024. Let's go ahead and my top 5 now. At number 5, we're going over Amon-Ra St. Brown, a wide receiver that he's a very shifty wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. He's hard to cover, right? He's a kind of a PPR type of guy. guy. Jared Goff throws to this ball, or he throws to this guy early and often all over the time. So I don't think Jared Goff's going anywhere. I think he's going to be the quarterback for the Lions in 2024, and I think he's already got that nice rapport with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that continues in 2024. Let's move right along here. Number 4, CeeDee Lamb had a nice big year for the Dallas Cowboys, and he had some really big games for us too, especially in the championship game. We saw CeeDee Lamb go absolutely ham sauce. Love what I get from this guy as a youngster. Doesn't matter if you're playing redraft or if you're playing in Dynasty League, CeeDee Lamb is a coveted asset in 2024, easily at number 4 for me. We're talking about number 3 now, Justin Jefferson. I think just his ability alone makes him the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football in a lot of people's cases. He's not number 1 for me. He ends up here in number 2, but in the top 30 overall, he ends up dropping down to number 3, even without stellar play from Kirk Cousins. And when he was hurt, Justin Jefferson was still able to put up some nice numbers even without them. Even Justin Jefferson missed some time himself with some injury, came back and was still showing that he could be a dominant force in the NFL. I have no worries about Justin Jefferson. I think he's going to be phenomenal. Whether or not you are in Dynasty or redraft, Justin Jefferson is going to be a good wide receiver. Coming at number 2 is going to be my number 1 wide receiver on the list is Tyreek Hill. The guy is phenomenal, right? This dude can completely blow up a week and give you a win by himself. Tyreek Hill, nobody can guard this guy. He's just way too fast. They call him the cheetah for a reason. You got Tyreek Hill on your team, you're going to get a lot of wins just because it's Tyreek Hill. Tua Tagovailoa is really finding Tyreek Hill down the field early and often, like what he provides to your team. Easily at number 2 for me. And at number 1 for the top 30 people for 2024, none other than Christian McCaffrey. The dude is phenomenal. My biggest caveat, this guy is as long as he stays healthy. He has an injury-prone kind of history type of thing, but as long as he can stay healthy, rocking and rolling, he's going to be easily the best running back in 2024. Should easily be number 1. It shouldn't even be a question. The amount of receptions that he get, it was even a low reception year for him in 2023. But even if he ups that a little bit to what he's used to getting in 2024, he should clearly be the best running back in fantasy football, and it shouldn't even be close. So. But that is my top 30 rankings, y'all, for way too early for 2024. Keep in mind, these rankings are going to go all over the place. They're going to go up. They're going to go down. We've got the rookie drafts coming up, NFL drafts. We've got free agency. We've got all types of things coming up that can change these positions. So, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Heading strong over to 800 subscribers. Can't wait to get there. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.